Hey guys, I'm Dan with Six Monkeys, and this is 1776, my Six Monkeys rig. We're gonna do a walk around video of my rig here, 1776. It's a 2015 diesel, no air ride. We've got it lifted up and just completely outfitted. So we're gonna walk around this thing, show you guys what I've done to it and what you can do to your rigs. All right guys, here's everything we've done to the front end of this truck. We've added the Primate upper bumper. This is my first prototype one. I've left the center open to be able to see and access my winch cable, very handy. It has the Alpha front lower guard with a sunken center. It's stubbed for the Alpha. This is my own personal one. You can order this one, just write in the special instructions section that you want Dan's front lower guard, and we can build you one with a sunken center. That's a pretty cool feature, having our logo in the middle there, and the two-tone color scheme. You can also light all this up at night so you can see it really well. Just while we're down here, I'll talk about underneath. We're completely outfitted with skid plates. The sump, belly, trans, the T-case, the kidney, battery skid, rear diff guard. We've just got everything outfitted underneath there. The only skid plate that's under there that we don't make are the fuel tank skids. And the Mopar ones are cheap enough and it's hard for us to compete with those, so I left those be. We've done a lot of suspension work to this thing, a lot of body work to it to accommodate the 35-inch tires. Got to give a shout out to Prodigal Overland, Brad over there. He was the last one to do a kind of a quick walk around on this. So this is going to be a thorough video all the way around. So let's take a look at what else we got going on here. Let's walk around to the sides. All right, we're gonna go through our powertrain and our running gear, just everything we've done to this vehicle to give it some horsepower and just everything we could to fit 35s. The motor's a 3.0 diesel. We have it tuned, the transmission tuned. A lot of stuff happening with the motor to keep it healthy. We're running the OEM CV axles, and we've maxed them out at 3 inches. We've had really good luck with this. I put just 3,000 or 4,000 miles on them without an issue. We are lifted at 3 inches. We're running the Dobinson HD lift. We adjusted the fronts up to 3 inches. The rear, we're running the heavy-duty Dobinson suspension lift, as well as the Six Monkeys adjustable spring lift. And we added those together to be able to get the back up to 3 inches. It's the only way we can do it. As far as tires, we're running the Nitto Trail Grapplers. They're 35s. Kept them kind of narrow, because the further out you go, the wider they are, the more clearance you need for everything. And we're running the Rock Trick 17-inch wheels. Positive 12 offset. They do fit the HD brakes, and overall they're nice wheels. They're not very expensive, so if you tear them up, you don't have to be too worried about it. I think all of mine have scratches on them and some battle wounds. To fit 35s on the front, we had to go with our front bumper to have clearance in the front. All the pinch weld has been removed and re-welded, and there's also subframes in the back that we had to rebuild because the tires clotted with them. And on the opposing side, our washer fluid reservoir, we had to add our aluminum one. The plastic one just hung down too far and the tires made contact with it. So as far as the front goes, that's everything extra we had to do. We also have our prototype fender flares. These will be available soon. We got rid of all the plastic stuff up here, and these seem to hold up pretty good, so we're gonna put them in production. Going to the back, let's take a look back there and see what we had to do to fit our tires in the back. All right, so the back side, as far as fitting 35s, we had to tuck the fuel fill tube really tight into the corner. Obviously that's on the other side of the vehicle. And We had to get rid of the fender liners. Luckily, there's not a whole lot back here that they actually protect, so we just removed them. We didn't replace them with aluminum ones like the front. We also had to cut our doors. So our doors have been sliced and re-welded, as well as the body behind it. And it was really extensive, kind of nerve-wracking, cutting and re-welding and repainting doors. For the most part, you don't even notice it because of this black trim. And for us to determine how much to cut and where to cut, before we put the tires and the springs in place, we put a jack underneath and put the tire on and articulated everything without a spring in place. And that told us how far we need to trim everything back. And it was not fun, but the whole transition took us about 2 days to do it, me and my welder. Overall, we love the way the suspension rides and the way the 35s look and the way they perform. Get into a lot of situations where you go on trail rides where they only allow 35s and up on trail, so this allows us to do that. Go some places where other GCs can't go. It's pretty cool. So moving on, let's take a look at all the armor and everything on the exterior of this vehicle and give you some good ideas of just everything. All right, these are our 6 monkey sliders. There's no drilling or cutting that needs to happen to apply these to your rig. You'll notice that there are some slots when you install this, and that allows you to shift the slider forward and backwards. Depending on your model year, you may need to shift it one way or another to get it to fit right. These are our standard ones. There's no step plate, and they're made out of 3 trellised structural tubes. They weigh about 50 pounds a piece. They really just stiffen everything up. They do offer a really good toe hold, so you can get your toe on there to step up, but at the same time they don't stick out so far that it's uncomfortable when you step in and out of the vehicle. So they come with 4 integrated LED lights. We don't supply the wire, it all depends on where you want to wire it to. Just some notes, if you purchase these and you're installing them, the last thing you'll do is add a cover strip on the top and the inside that just covers some holes. It's always best to have a buddy help you with these. They are heavy. It takes us about a half hour to install them, but I've done a ton of them. So what I do is just lay on the ground, put the slider underneath me, pick up one side, get the bolt started, and work from one side to the other. And a small 3/8 impact is really handy when you're installing these. You can use a jack underneath. You can use a jack out here. Obviously, being underneath the vehicle is always safer, and I always try to steer people away from using high lift jacks on them, just because they're dangerous. If you have the room to carry a bottle jack or a floor jack, then take that route first. It's going to be more stable. Overall, they're pretty stout, and they've protected us a few times. We've pushed boulders all the way with them, and they've definitely earned their keep. And moving on, we'll take a look at the top and see what the roof rack is all about, and our just general overview of it. All right, guys, this is our 6 Monkeys Gen 2 roof rack. These things are awesome. We have lighting on 3 sides. We got 4 sunken bars in the front with plexiglass covers. We've got 2 on either side, driver side and passenger side, and they're just awesome. They light up everything. I don't have any lights on the back. I do make brackets for the back, and that's one of the things that I want to add, but just haven't had the time to do it yet. On top of here, I'm running my set of train horns, which is awesome. They do shut down highways, I know that. I'm also running a shovel and axe mount. The mount I built, I haven't really produced it yet for production, but I can't make everything for everybody. I have to keep my Jeep unique sometimes too. So yeah, I'm also running a couple ATV toolboxes. These are for the fronts of ATVs. They're made out of aluminum, they're lockable, they're watertight. They'll last longer than plastic, they're not gonna fade. I keep all my rigging gear in there, a lot of recovery stuff, ratchet straps, stuff for towing, stuff like that, stuff that I don't want in the vehicle. You know, if I get a a muddy strap or something, I want to throw it in these boxes. I don't want to put it in the vehicle. The other side, I'm just running max tracks. Gotta have them, super handy. I don't have a set of our max tracks up there, but I'm gonna get one mounted. Overall, super happy with it. Totes everything I needed to tote. And yeah, super cool. Check out the back. All right, so back here, we are running my first rear bumper I ever built. It's held up awesome, so I'm just letting it ride. I don't want to replace it yet, but I will at some point. We have recovery points, everything like that. I also have an auxiliary skid mount up underneath. It's hard to see from back here, but it carries my air compressor tank, my air compressor. It's tucked up real tight. There's a 3-gallon, 200 PSI tank in there. So I have onboard air. I also have the train horns. Super handy having it tucked up in there. The compressor's real quiet. You barely hear it. And it's just awesome. It also protects some other stuff up underneath there. So if I come down hard and anything back there, it'll hit it. It acts like a skid plate. I also got my tire carrier, which is the first one I ever built. I just haven't really updated it yet, and I want to. I really hate it. I put the pin back behind the tire, and it makes it a pain in the butt. So I want to update this to my current version and put the locking ring on the other side with the pin. It's just a lot more user-friendly. Right now, my kids can't really undo this, and that's, you tell them to go get groceries, and they can't go get groceries because they can't open the tire carrier. It kind of stinks. I'm also running the Rotopax mount. I have a table on it. It's super handy for when you're out camping or just going on a day trip and you need somewhere for, a table to put lunch or something. Super handy. I'm running an ammo can carrier. I used to have my propane tank mount on here. I just took it off to run this. More than me going out and camping and cooking stuff, I'm using this vehicle to pull loads of steel so we can fabricate. And I put this ammo can back here so I can put ratchet straps in it. So it's right by my trailer when I need to go tie stuff down. I just pull the can out and open it up and get all my straps, strap everything, and I don't have to go in and out of the vehicle to get ratchet straps. They're just right here. It's super convenient. I'm also running the high lift jack on the other side. Super handy having this thing. It's I can run a 35-inch tire. I still have my backup camera. And I can tow with it, which is super cool. Overall, I like the setup, but I think in the future I might swap this rear bumper out. Maybe make a tube bumper with an integrated tire carrier and see how that runs for a while. All right, so here we are in the interior, and I'm gonna show you a little bit of what I've done to my rig and kind of explain a few things. The first thing I like to point out is our kicker panels. They're down here below. A lot of guys like to put their firearms down here. I just have a little thing to hold my business cards. And I also have a fire extinguisher mounted to the under seat one. It's pretty cool down there. Very accessible, and it stays out of the way. It's a perfect little mount for it. All right, so the next thing I want to show you guys is my monkey panel, the overhead panel up here. It's a really cool feature, holds a lot of my important gear and some of the stuff I just like to have handy. Super cool. We have these grab handles that we make here. We have them in the front and the back. Some of the things I keep up here is just a flashlight. It's convenient. I keep my radios up here. I have my horn handle that's attached to the monkey panel that activates my train horns. We have our PSI gauge that runs back to my 3-gallon, 200 PSI tank, so I know what the pressure is like. And I also have my switch box that controls all of my lighting and everything interior and exterior. I also have my patch panel that I keep all my favorite patches on. A lot of cool little patches up there. And overall, this thing it's a game changer. It's really cool. And that's about all the modifications I have up front here. And I also have some fire missile buttons. Thank you, Angie Dodge. And let's check out the second row. We got quite a few more panels in the second row. All right, so continuing on the back, we have our second row monkey panel. This thing is pretty cool. I got some big pouches in it. I think I keep an OBD reader and keep some stuff in here for the kids. And we also have integrated lights. There's 5 lights that come with this thing, so it lights up this whole back. It's pretty neat. They're all LEDs, and you just wire them into where your old handles used to be. And I have handles back here. And then going forward from the second row monkey panel, we have our core connector. Our core connector connects the front panel to the back panel, and it has a couple LED lights that are built into it that shine up front and adds more LED lighting up front. I keep some of the things I like to keep handy from the front and the back up here. So I got a poncho and a set of gloves, and I don't know what I got in there, something else. Something else I have back here are the back seat mole panels. These things are super cool. They just clamp onto the top, and they just fit into the bottom tabs. And I keep all sorts of stuff back here as well. Pressure gauges and air down tools and stuff like that. Stuff that's handy to get at. I leave a couple open for the kids. They like to stuff their stuff in it while they're riding. It keeps them occupied. All right, so back here, I just have the rear window mole panels. The access opening allows me to kind of stuff some stuff in between the window and the mole panel. Attached to those, I have our mole shelf that bolts from one side to the other. It's a little bit of an adjustable, so it's super handy for putting all sorts of stuff up here. I keep a binder, and I keep my machete up here, keep some hats, and just miscellaneous stuff. Pretty cool spot to keep everything. I also keep all my air tools underneath here, and I even hang a bigger one for a cord, as well as another ammo can holder, which is accessible through the front, so that way it just doesn't go anywhere. I seem to go through my back doors more than my back hatch, so it's easier to have it accessible in the front. Yeah, this has freed up a lot of space for me. I've been able to fit a lot of things in here, and especially with having the tire carrier on the back, I'm able to not have anything underneath here, which leaves a ton of storage space for all sorts of things. Overall, I'm pretty happy with my build. There's a few things that I might change up in the future just to keep the products fresh, but so far this thing has done me really well, and it's not going anywhere, so we're just going to keep building for it. And I look forward to seeing your guys' builds, and thank you for following. All right, guys, that's it for this 1776 build. It's going to be a continuing process, so I hope you guys tune in again to check it all out. But for now, let's see your guys' builds. Have a good one.